But let's bring him in here. Rough Riders wide receiver Brayden Lenius headed into his sophomore season. It is somewhat choppy. You're right, guys. That's true. Which is odd because he's coming to us from Regina. How you doing, Brayden?
I'm good. How about you? You'd think the Wi-Fi is good in the stadium here. Now I don't get to be in here. I don't know what's going on with it, though.
How was the workout today? What did you get in?
Well, I got lower body today. Today was my day 3 of the work day, 6-day week I get. So today was a little bit of trap bar deadlift, some lower body explosion, and some running.
Good for you. How are the guys doing right now as we come up on a month of the delay? What's the mindset of your teammates?
Yeah. Well, from talking to multiple and trying to stay in contact with them, I think everybody's right now is just trying to keep their hopes up, right? As coming into my sophomore year and we lost a little bit of leadership in the receiver room, I try to, stay in contact with those guys and make sure everybody's on the same page, and we're still working out because you never know, right? Things are changing fast, and I don't know, from down south, things are starting to open up, so hopefully that can translate up here. So just making sure the guys are still working, right, and not losing hope, and there's not going to be a season or not, so just got to keep working like there is.
Absolutely. Well, there's no doubt the CFL will come back, and you will be a big part of it for a long time. But let's just go back for a second and look at 100%. Your rookies. Yeah, I mean, you were a high draft pick. I know everybody wants to be on the field more and catch more balls, but for you got your feet wet, you worked your way in. How do you look at that 2019 rookie season? Were you happy with it, or your thoughts?
I was happy with it, but I think on my part, just it's tough coming as a rookie and being at a collegiate level. It is a big of a jump. I played a pretty high level, but even then, professional still another jump, and you're still with guys who played in the league and who have been in this league for a while now. So, I think it was good to be able to play in those 11 games that I got to and get my feet wet and got my hand on a couple balls, which was nice to get used to that. But I think coming into next year, just learning from the guys like Naaman and Manny and Corey Watson, especially, like those guys, learning from them. And it's not even just on the on-field stuff, but it's the off-field, like their routines, how they work out, how they come in each day for preparation for games. So I think coming in next year and taking little bits and pieces from each of them, I think this next sophomore season is going to be a good one for myself.
You mentioned 11 games, 2 receptions for 4 yards. Brayden, 6'5", 230, born and raised in Regina, played at Washington. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to put an asterisk on the 230. I'm winning about 223 right now.
Okay. He's a hamburger away from 230. A Fuddruckers hamburger away from 230. Brayden, I got to ask you this. One of our viewers asked, what the talent level of the CFL, how did you feel about it? Given the big-time schools that you played at, was it right where you thought it would be when you got into training camp and into the regular year?
Yeah, 100%. Especially, I've been around the CFL for a long time, right? Especially as a little kid and growing up in Regina, so I've seen it since I could remember, right? So I think just being able to see that, but also, it is a jump. It is a jump. The pace is even more faster because if you go to the collegiate kids who are 18, 17 years old and still, mind's still scrambling, still trying to get into their body and figure themselves out. So the game is a lot more fast-paced and a lot more, I think, as being older and a bunch of men on the team, like it's way more, like there's more focus and there's more accountability in this league, and you have to hold yourself to a standard individually as well. So, and that'll lead to success on the field. But the pace is faster for sure.
Wow, that's amazing that you say that, by the way, because you did play in a big-time program with the Washington Huskies. Yeah. So they're holding you accountable here, there, but it's a higher level here is what you're saying.
Yeah. Especially because it's the pros, right? Again, the CFL, like some people don't credit the CFL like they should, but the CFL, you see dudes coming up from the NFL getting cut right away. So you got it right there that it is a fast-paced game.
Couple things. One, if we go back to the CFL Combine and the one-on-one interviews, your mom told me how exciting it was for you to be interviewed by guys you'd grown up watching on television, like the interviews with the team. So who were the guys that you were sitting across the desk from and going, wow? Do you remember?
It was Hamilton. So Hamilton, their offensive staff members, he went to my high school in North Vancouver. So I've known him for a while, so it was cool to see him. The riders, some of the rider stuff, like J.O. wasn't there, but I remember seeing Shives. I've seen Shives before. I got interviewed by 7 out of the 9 teams, but a lot of them are new faces. I think BC was the main one when I saw G-Roy, because G-Roy and I are pretty close, right? So sitting across from G-Roy was kind of hard not to grin and smile, because I know him on a very well personal level, right? So it was hard to keep serious and keep a straight face, but no, I got it down.
The GOAT. I guarantee you, if he'd had
himself,
the BC Lions would have been drafting you, no doubt about it. And I'm sure he'd still love to get you out there because of your West Coast ties.
I know. I think Mom was hitting at it too when they were talking as well. Give a little boost.
We don't want to get into tampering here today. But,
No.
By the way, I got to say this. For me, my highlight watching you was the Fiesta Bowl in Phoenix. And you were on the field a significant amount, I thought, in that game. Can you talk about that day and that game? It was a lot of fun.
That game was crazy. With that year, that was a little bit of a weird year for me. Like, statistically wise, I didn't get the ball like I wanted to. Or I didn't get the catches like I did the previous years. But I started, I think the percentage was like 91% of the snaps I was on the field, and it was just as blocking, right? But that game was insane. I think when I first got out for warm up, and I saw Saquon Barkley and all those cats, I was just like, this is like unbelievable. Like, you see Saquon Barkley, he's a video game, right? And I go up to him and shake his hand and say what's up, and it's just like, and then once we got in the game, like we were down a little bit, we almost came back and won the game. But just that whole atmosphere and be able to play in the New Year's Six Bowl, and coming off the previous year playing Alabama and seeing that, and then be able to play that next year against that big team, like, it was just unbelievable. Those games are games like you remember forever as I go on for the rest of my life.
Yeah, and you weren't standing on the sidelines. That's my thing. You got a fair amount of snaps in it.
Exactly.
Right? Which is good.
Exactly.
But then you're drafted by your hometown Rough Riders, and to step out onto the field in the beautiful new stadium, can you please tell me what that experience was like?
It was honestly it was emotional. I honestly had tears in my eyes the first day, because my grandpa passed away about a month before I got drafted, and grandpa and grandma are from here. So it was just a special moment to be able to, and all my family's in the stands. There's probably about 30 or 40 of them who all had season tickets since probably 25 years plus, right? So just running out the tunnel and just I don't know. It's honestly indescribable, right? Like, you have to do it to really understand like the meaning, but the true meaning behind it, just having everybody there and all that support, it's just unbelievable, right? And there's nothing like Rider fan, like game day and seeing Pill Country and everybody fired up, like it's unbelievable.
I know, and that's the thing is the Fiesta Bowl was cool at the University of Phoenix Stadium.
Yeah.
Mosaic Stadium, no different. Really, everybody's going crazy. You got the pins and needles, and I get it. Or unless you see a difference, but it's got to be the same sort of feeling, I would think.
Oh, 100%. No, Mosaic Stadium gives a lot of teams, even down south, a run for the money with fan-wise and how beautiful the stadium is and like the fan. Oh, yeah, it's up there.
Now, I just got to ask you about your career. I mean, last year's draft was Jeremy O'Day's first, and it became very clear to me what he likes in receivers: skyscrapers, and yourself and Justin McGinnis. So as long as Jeremy's the GM here, which he will be probably forever, you're probably going to have a big spot on the team. So when you look at your career ahead, and you can really only look one day at a time, but are you excited about what the CFL holds for you and being one of those great names in Rider history?
Oh, 100%. I think just from last year, like I said, going back to when I said it's a learning from the guy, especially Corey Watson in my position at that Canadian R position. I think for me, with my size and my ability, and I know what I can do, I think I'm so for that position. I think that's going to allow me to be successful in the league for hopefully 10 plus years, right? And I think I have all the tools. It's just I got to put it all together and just go do it, right? And I think O'Day believes in me, and he told me that, so that's a good thing going on as I go on throughout my career.
You do have it all, and all you got to do is prove it, and I know you know that. So, Brayden, I appreciate the time. Always nice seeing you, my friend. Stay safe, and
thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, here's hope you get back on the field soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Rod.
All right, Brayden Lenius joining us from Mosaic Stadium today, right down in the locker room. Oh, it just makes you feel good that he's playing for the Rough Riders. I was lobbying hard for that.
Oh, I know you were.
Yeah.
That's cool. I love seeing them back at the stadium. I think that's awesome. So that's just one more piece of good news and another sign of optimism that we just might get back to playing football. At least they're doing everything. Seeing NFL coaches like Mike Vrabel on social media going to work, seeing Brayden and CFL players back at stadiums is a good thing.
All you can do in their role is do your part.
Yeah.
And hope that the leaders above you in the right positions, and I'm talking about the government and health officials, are doing the right things to get back to normal as soon as possible. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll continue that talk after the break and a whole lot more. Special guest coming up in the bunker. It's the RP Show, Wednesday, June 10th, episode 252 of Canada's Morning Sports Talk Show continues right after this. Facebook Live, Game Plus TV Network, and listen live at rodpeterson.com.
You're watching Rod Peterson On Demand. For more of The Rod Peterson Show, visit rodpeterson.com or follow Rod Peterson on social media.